All right, so our next movie that we're going to review is Speak No Evil. Now, this is a remake of a 2022 Danish film. Have you seen the Danish film?
I have not.
Okay, I've when this movie's come out, I've heard a lot of people really praise the Danish film. It makes me kind of want to go check it out myself. And I heard the film goes a lot more hardcore
It
than.
Yes, the Danish film, from what I've heard, goes far more hardcore, and it's also far more satirical.
Mm, okay. Interesting. So yeah, it makes me want to check it out there. But what is this film Speak No Evil about? So you got this couple played by Mackenzie Phillips. Mackenzie Davis there. I was thinking about the other person, Mackenzie Phillips. Mackenzie Davis there, who you've seen her in different things like Blade Runner 2049. She was also in the movie Tully. She was also in Terminator Dark Fate there as well. And her and her husband, Scoot McNairy, they're, vacationing on here. I think they're in France. I think it is. They're vacationing, and they meet this other couple. He's played by James McAvoy and Alison Francesca here, and they're a cool couple. They're like one of the couples that you would want to meet while you're on. You know what I mean? Oh, Italy. I'm sorry. They're holiday in Italy. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
apologize. And they live in London. There, they live in London. But yeah, they're holidaying in Italy, and they meet this cool couple. And they're the couple that you would want to meet when you're vacationing. They're out there, they're outgoing, they're charismatic, they're fun. And they kind of click instantly. And they click so much. They say like, hey, we got this farm that's out here, this house. Why don't you come out here, stay with us, have a good time? Since you love hanging out with us so much. And Scoop McNairy and Mackenzie Davis, they say, yeah, sure, why not? Let's go pack up things and let's go spend about a week with this family, which seems kind of crazy because it's like they barely, like I said, they just met these people just
Yeah,
on
no,
holiday.
this was a bad idea from the start.
Which is like, I mean, this is a type of trip that you would do with somebody that you've known for like years. That you would go like, hey, let's pack up, let's take our kid, and you know what I mean, go over there.
Yeah.
Like this is more of a trip that you would do with somebody you've known for a while, not somebody you just met. But of course, you know what I mean, as you see from the trailer, and of course, this being a horror film, also another psychological horror film. Things go awry, things go shitty. Like this couple is not what they kind of seem like. They're not as cool as they initially thought. The couple is a little bit more adversarial. They start pushing James McAvoy and Allison. They start pushing a Scoop and Mackenzie Davis. They start pushing their buttons in terms of politics, in terms of
Mhm.
just also making things very uncomfortable for them. Commenting, making like weird comments
Being
there,
abusive to their son.
being abusive to their son. And Mackenzie Davis, I mean, she's got kind of the best. Like, if this was like The Office, she would definitely be the Jim character, where she would just kind of look to the camera and go, like, "Can you believe this shit?" Like, she has
Mhm.
that, always has that look on her face, like the kind of the jumps of her face, kind of going like, "What the fuck?" Like, okay, and not saying anything. But it's one of those situations where you're put into a position of you don't want to be too rude. You know what I mean? These people, you want to
Yeah.
try to be polite and try to
They do
fit in.
make good decisions, surprisingly. After that, they do make good decisions, like, we're out. Like, screw this.
Yeah. And yeah, they do kind of make some kind of good decisions here, I think, in the movie. But yeah, I mean, you kind of see that kind of going on. Things kind of just get worse and worse, for the couple when they're interacting with them. But Dusk, let me get your opinion on Speak No Evil.
They should have renamed this movie Turning Red, because James McAvoy is beat red through some of the many of the moments of this movie. He just gets so steaming mad in his performance that he's he completely changes red in this. Honestly, I mean that in the best possible way. James McAvoy is just fantastic in this movie. I thought he did a great range of performance. Not as kind of subdued as I thought he would go. He is, yeah, better than Red than Dead. But yeah, he is just he's really great. I think everybody in the cast is actually really strong. But man, James McAvoy really just adds that really kind of almost like his performance in Split, where from 1 minute he's kind of this like, I'm just a cool dad, everything's good, and then all of a sudden he becomes like white trash and like throws something at his son. It's like, screw you.
Yeah. and he looks massive in this one.
Oh,
He's
yeah, he
absolutely
got
massive.
swole.
And he did like Olympic weightlifting to prepare, and that's why you see like his traps and his shoulders are very broad and big. I mean, he looks just like kind of animalistic, like how he did in Split.
Mhm.
There's this kind of that element to him here, which makes him even more dangerous. I think there, and speaking about the movie, the Front Room, the movie we talked about just earlier, how it has these ingredients of this tension and the build up, but it doesn't really do much with it. And you're waiting for that other shoe to drop, and it doesn't. Here, the actual shoe drops. Here, it
It
at
drops
least
hard.
it leads to something, which I think is nice. And that undercurrent of
Wow,
danger
the
that
bare minimum of a horror thriller.
yeah, I mean, that's there. And I think that works really effectively here in this movie. That's really well done. And yeah, I mean James McAvoy, I mean, I think everybody here does a good job, but much like what we talked about the other movie, you do have one stellar performance here that really shines, and it is him playing Patty is the character that he's playing in this. That really kind of shines here really well. Even though everybody really does a good job, I think, but he really is very impressive.
Mhm.
But yeah, and you look at this movie as well, and you're seeing like, well, a lot of sometimes horror movies is, can you put yourself in that position? Can you imagine, you being that's part adds to the horror aspect of it, because these are just regular, usually horror movies are regular everyday people in these kind of dangerous situations. And here, I mean, I wouldn't go to a couple's house I barely knew on holiday, but
Yep.
even then, they're going here, and it does help that the character in this movie, I mean, Scoop McNairy. I mean, listen, I don't believe in the whole alpha beta shit, but this dude is he's kind of bitch made. I mean, but you need a dude like that for a movie like this because he's such kind of a pushover in his element here of this movie. Like James McAvoy is able just to kind of bowl over him and kind of I mean
Yeah,
really force them to
he questions his masculinity a lot in this movie.
yeah. And I
That's how they
think
pick targets.
yeah, I mean, I think it's seen that, early on, like, you get how he was picked. You think, "Why this couple? Why these people?" It's like, "Well, look at this dude." You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Look at him. Even the couple is kind of a mismatch. 'Cause you look at Mackenzie, I mean, not to, Squimanary's a good-looking guy, but you think that, like, "Oh, it's a little you kinda leveling up here, dude." You know what I mean? Mackenzie Davis and you, just side by side, is like, I think you kinda leveling up here. You pitching above your league here." So you do have that going, and I think instantly there's a scene at the beginning of the movie where they're at a pool, and when James McAvoy asked to take the chair, I think that's when he knew, like, oh, this is my guy. Like as
Yeah.
easily so easily he did that. I think that's how he picked. That's probably how he picks people because it
Mhm.
was like such an easy thing.
And it's
Um,
not yeah, just moments like that really, add to the movie and the, back and forth between the characters. And, also there's a conversation early on with, Mackenzie Davis and Skip Minari. You're just like in the very early on where I'm like, "Ah, man." I felt so bad for Scoot. He's just like, "Oh, man, you're trying to be a decent guy, but she kinda did something to him that is really screwing up their relationship."
mm,
And yeah, just like predators do, they can see tension in a relationship and they kind of hone in on it and they see where the weakness is and they go in. And so in that way, it doesn't feel so fresh. They're having such a good time. Things are starting to work out. And Patty and Sierra just seem like such cool people with their son. That's like, hey, yeah, we don't want to keep hanging out, want to keep spending. They're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, things have been kind of pretty good. This hasn't been so good for a while." So you understand why they initially go with them, even if it is kind of like, I don't know about it. I mean, personally, me, I'm like, I don't care how great of a time I'm having. I don't know you. I'm not going nowhere, but I can see how they would reach that conclusion and go there. And once they get there, I gotta be honest, like Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie. Yeah, Mackenzie Davis does a great job of like the office look, but Scoot McNairy does a great job too, where he's just like looking at her. Sometimes they're looking at each other. We're like,
yeah,
this is like they're saying so much without saying a single word to each other that they did feel like they're a couple and things are kind of we need to kind of blend together. We need to kind of balance things. We need to kind of and once things start getting real, they really all start to buckle down and Scoop and Darren kind of has to man up. I hate that word, but he kind of has to measure up and they
Mhm.
all have to kind of pull together in order to get out of this situation.
Yeah. And it's good to see. I think, and like I say, it follows that kind of progression of where things are gonna go, and the tension is perfectly. I think the pacing of it is really good of how it
Oh
kind
yeah,
of levels with.
this is a quick movie. It's not too long. It's only 110 minutes, and it uses its time appropriately.
Yeah. And I don't think these people, I mean, I think they make good decisions throughout it. When I actually posed a question, on Twitter, it's like, is saying that people who are dumb in movies or make dumb decisions, is that actually a valid criticism? And I think it kind of depends because it depends on what type of people are in the movie, what kind of, skills kind of the movie introduces these people to have. And for this is just a regular family, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And couple into being in kind of a high risk kind of situation, especially, most kind of horror movies. It's like you're stressed, you're, tension, your adrenaline is going. And yeah, you're gonna probably make some dumb decisions sometimes. You know what I mean? They're always gonna make the right decision. I mean, people make dumb decisions all the time in horror movies. I mean, in real life, people make dumb decisions all the time. So yeah, I think if it fits with kind of the character, it kinda works, and for just these regular kinda average people, it kinda works, the decisions that they make. Um, to talk a little bit also about the children in the movie as well, you got, 2 of the children here, I think they also do a really good job, especially the actor who plays Ant, in this,
Yeah,
and
uh, Dan Hugh, I think, or Kyo. He does actually a really good job. He doesn't have a single line, but he does a lot of great delivery with his expressions and the way he. There's just a couple moments where he's just like looking around, or he'll just like look off solemnly, and even from the very beginning, you're like, "What's kind of up with this kid?"
mm,
And
he kind
yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say the kid kinda looks like a young, what's that actor's name? The one that was Harry Osborn in Amazing Spider-Man,
Oh, you mean oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name.
God,
James
what.
Franco.
No, no, the one that was in the Amazing Spider-Man, not
Oh,
uh,
I'm sorry.
Dane DeHaan, thank you, the one.
Thank you, Dane
He
DeHaan.
kinda looks like
Yeah,
a young, really super young Dane DeHaan. I tell you that cloning factory in Hollywood, I tell you, it's
they
paying off.
do.
But yeah, he's really good. I mean, his facial expressions and kinda what he does, he's got a condition in the movie that his, tongue was, too short, for his mouth, so he's unable to speak there. And, yeah, what he does, yeah, that's right, Dane DeHaan's also a Leonardo DiCaprio clone as well. He's a little clone of Leonardo DiCaprio as well there. But, yeah, and, he's trying to, communicate with his family, Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie Davis and the other little girl there, and he's trying his he's trying his best, man.
Yeah,
Um,
there's certain points when he's just like, "What are you, stupid? Come on."
he's pointing like, "Look, this, like, look," and then the little girl's like, "I don't understand. What does this mean?" It's like, "God damn it, like, come on, like, connect the dots here." Like, you gotta see that something's wrong here, right? I mean, come on. So he did a really fabulous job as well, I think, in this movie. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. And I mean, as much as I liked it, I think it's a good movie. I'm so happy I never have to see this trailer again because I can't tell you how many times they played this
Oh
trailer in
man.
front of movies. Like, because and of course, for people like us, we go to see the movies every week and go see all the new releases to do these movies. And damn, they were playing the shit out this trailer.
They were Blumhouse was promoting the shit out of this.
Like, my god, they were showing the shit out this trailer. Like, it was so much like, I've never seen a movie release this week, and they're still playing the trailer. Like, I even
I
went to go
know.
see it, like, I've never seen that before. I'm like, "Damn." I'm
It's like, I thought we were done.
so, I mean, good movie, but I'm like, "Thank God I don't have to see this goddamn trailer anymore because 'cause I'm tired of seeing the fucking trailer." Any major downsides with you for this movie?
Uh, without having seen the original one, this one doesn't have much satire here. Most of it is just awkwardness and good performances. There's a bit of black comedy in it in the performances, and that actually works really well for it. But honestly, it's really carried by James McAvoy and his accomplice, uh,
Sierra?
Aisling Franciosi. Franciosa?
Sure. We'll go
Sure.
with that.
Whatever. I think she does a good job too, kind of just playing this like, "Oh, no, I'm pretty innocent," but yeah, once you really get into the thick of the things, they really just show off,
Mm.
um, just like how just evil they are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty nice. So yeah, I would for me, I would give it I think a tune in. I think it's a good tune in for me.
Mhm.
Like I said, I like what the movie does. And also it's very I was laughing a lot through it. I mean, I like kind of tense, awkward stuff, and there's a lot of this in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Just
There's a
seeing the
lot.
two couples kind of bounce off each other, just in different scenes. That is, I think, good to see. The climax of it, I think, is really good in it as well. So yeah, I think this is an enjoyable watch here. If hey, perfect for Friday 13th. If you're listening to this on stream right now, on Twitch, yeah, it's a good movie to go see. I mean, horror movie wise there. And it great performances, like we mentioned, especially from James McAvoy, who again does another physical transformation for this movie, like he did with something like Split. I mean, James McAvoy proves again that he's good chameleon actor
Yeah,
there.
he really is.
Willing to really go there, and a lot of his
He and,
performances.
Fassbender are, like, top of their class.
Yeah. And just that undercurrent that he's able to kind of bounce back and forth, the couple of like being very threatening and then being very cool at one moment of like you can see why you would hang out with these people. Like it makes
Mhm.
sense, you know what I mean? It's not
When he's cool, but then that moment when, there's that and every time he does it, you can just tell he's just fucking with them. He wants to see their reactions. He's getting, like, excited, even though he's showing, like, being mad and, like, looking at him, and then he'll switch over. It's like, "Nah, I'm just messing with you."
yeah. Because it's just like, okay, how far can I take things? How far can I push things? Before these people leave or they get fed up or they get tired, like what's
Yeah.
gonna go on? And then that's
It's like
just
measuring where the limits are so he knows when he's gone too far or and yet at the same time kinda corralling them back.
mm, yeah. So I think that's really
Mhm.
good to see there. So yeah, I give it a tune in. What about for you, man?
If you, considering the Blumhouse movies we've had this year with Night Swim, Imaginary,
Mm,
and, what came out, August 30th, Afraid, which was released by Sony Pictures, which was also all these are just bad to poor movies that just wasted the ingredients given to them and just couldn't live up to this. Compared to those, Speak No Evil is a masterclass of how to just use its simple premise to actually do what it's supposed to do. As for a remake, I can't speak for it. I haven't seen the original, but based on the premise and what I'm seeing with the ingredients I'm given, I think this is a solid tune in. I think if you go and see it in this theaters, you'll have a solid time. This is good. It's a good show. There's good performances, good use of set, good use of cinematography, and as much little bits of tension and just some really funny moments based on the tension where you just like awkwardly laugh. You're
yeah.
just like, oh my god.
Yeah, because
So yeah,
I mean, look at his ass. I mean,
yeah,
it's fucking crazy, man.
yeah,
Breath
he
of
is.
fresh air. Oh, well, that is very sweet of you to say.
This fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, he is. At that look
Uh,
alone, I've been like, "Well, it's nice seeing you. Bye."
yeah, I mean, they do a good job, just, like, keeping them there, man, because they just like, "Hey, don't wanna be rude, don't wanna be I don't wanna be impolite there." And it makes me really wanna go check out the, 2022, and this is the one right here, 21 from 22, the Danish film there, but because it says, yeah, it goes a little bit more hardcore than this one does, and does a little maybe goes a little bit bolder there. It goes a little
Oh,
bit further.
by far, it's gonna probably go bolder if I know anything about the Danes and uh, more, I should say, Nordic people, Danes, Danish. They go hardcore.
Mm,
They're gonna go all the way with it, or any. It's like hell. Another like really dark and twisted movie that came out earlier this year was a Spanish movie called The Coffee Table.
I never heard of that one. Coffee Table, I've never heard of
Yeah, The Coffee Table. Yeah, it's it's really bold.
okay. I have to maybe check that out. That's a Spanish film?
Hmm.
Okay, I'll check that
If I
out.
recall, I think it's Spanish.
And this one seems like it's a Shudder original,
Yeah,
this
Shadow
movie.
Original.
Okay, so, hey, if you got Shudder?
Yeah,
Oh, hey, it's one of the 50 million streaming services out there right now, if
I
you
know.
got it.
If you got Shutter, go for it.
Yeah, I think isn't Shudder teamed up with another one stream like Amazon, right? Like,
I
teamed up
think their team. I don't know if it's Amazon, but I know that they No teen. Yeah, it came out in 20. Sorry, not this year. It came out in 2022. The Coffee Table. It's a Spanish film, but yeah, that was a pretty wicked black comedy.
Mm. So 2 tune-ins for Speak No Evil there, out in theaters now. Go check it out.